Hello everyone, X-Force here, and welcome to the Grinder build. So, ever since Grinder came out about a month ago, I've been trying to think of the best way to use it for me personally, and what I think works best for it. So, I think I found that here, and this is what this build's based around. So, it is similar to my Fugitive Mastermind build in the Fugitive skill tree, and the weapons as well, but it's a totally different beast. This thing works amazing, way better than the Fugitive Mastermind build that I made, and that's one of the problems with Grinder. It really has made all of my other builds kind of obsolete, unless you're just looking for a good time, and I need to make a video addressing this, because Grinder right now really is the only thing you need, and I do feel like it's a little bit overpowered. So if it does get nerfed, this build might still be usable. Depends on how bad they nerf it. So let's just get on to it. In Mastermind, we have Gunslinger aced, Equilibrium aced, Spotter, and Dominator basic, Leadership aced, Endurance aced, Combat Medic aced, Control Freak aced, and Cable Guy aced. So pretty much really basic Mastermind tree with just pretty much pistol skills and other really convenient skills like Endurance and Combat Medic and Cable Guy. So yeah, pretty basic. Enforcer, all we need is Transporter. Technician, on the other hand, is where this build shines. And I love C4, it's probably my favorite equipment in the game, but I would never use it. Because the thing with C4 is that it was the most convenient equipment, but at the same time it was the most inconvenient, if that makes any sense. So if you have someone on your team that's using C4, it makes everyone's life easier, it makes every heist go quicker and just smoother, and you love the C4 guy, everyone loves the Technician guy. And with Grinder, the reason why I wouldn't always run C4 is because you would have to rely more on your teammates, and for someone who like me who plays a lot of pub matches, you don't always want to rely on your teammates, and it can be pretty stressful. So I would always constantly run builds with med bags or first aid kits. Mostly first aid kits so I could still share them with teammates, and also I would be really self-sustainable. But with Grinder, it takes self-sustainability to a whole nother level. You don't need anyone. You don't need anyone but yourself with Grinder. And the only bad thing with Grinder is that you can't share it. So that's where C4 comes into play and makes you more of a team player. Because really, Grinder, you don't need first aid kits with Grinder unless they're all for your teammates, and you don't need med bags with Grinder unless it's all for your teammates. Well, technically you might need med bags depending on how much you go down, but for me, using Grinder, rarely, maybe once or twice in a couple heists will you go down. So depending on how you use it, you're not going to be dying. So getting onto the Technician skill tree, we have Bulletproof aced, Shape Charge aced, Tactical Minds aced, Drill Sergeant aced, Hardware Expert aced, Nerves of Steel aced, Demolition Man aced, Sharpshooter, and Rifleman basic. These two, they do come in handy a little bit. Not really Rifleman, this was just skills to move up into the skill tree, and this skill tree is very precise. I didn't waste any skill points in here. I think I wasted 3 acing this out to get up into Bulletproof, but we really needed this aced. Probably the most important skill in the skill tree, maybe other than Bulletproof. So on to Ghost, we have Shinobi aced, Fast Hands aced, Sprinter aced, Cleaner basic, and Cat Burglar basic. Skills I would have liked to get were aced out Cat Burglar, but really we needed Shinobi ace because anytime you're doing anything stealth, you pretty much need it. So unfortunately, we had to waste some skill points in there, but they'll come in handy. And in Fugitive, we have Thick Skin aced, Duck and Cover aced, and Run and Gun. Skills I would have liked to pick up in here were Run and Gun aced. One of the other variations I had of this build, I had Bulletproof basic, which worked just as good, but I do like that insanely high armor recovery rate for you and your entire team. So just to be more of a team player and a little bit more self-sustaining, I did get Bulletproof aced out. But if you don't, you can leave that, and so you have 8 skill points to spend where you can put that in Run and Gun ace. Maybe you get Daredevil, also maybe aced out a couple more skills in Ghost. Another option you have if you don't ace this out, you can go more into the Enforcer skill tree and pick up this 15% armor recovery rate and also stun resistance. So you're not getting the 25% for you and your team, but you're still getting 15 for yourself if you don't want to waste the 8 skill points in here. So those are just a couple of variations. I have some ideas for you guys there. So perk deck, obviously, Grinder. the god that it is. So yeah, Grinder perk deck with these skills really turns out to be something beautiful and amazing. And I know some people that run Grinder builds with absolutely no armor, just a 2-piece suit, just based, and pretty much no dodge whatsoever, and it still works good for them. Or they'll go all the way up the fugitive skill tree for Sneaky Bastard and Low Blow, which really, if you're not using Rogue, Sneaky Bastard and Low Blow isn't going to get you a whole lot of dodge, and I personally don't think it's worth it when you can go into Technician and go all the way up the skill tree getting drill skills, all these C4 skills, and then at the very end just pick up Bulletproof just to have yourself a little bit more self-sustaining with the Light Ballistic Vest. And I always like the Light Ballistic Vest, and I think it works really good, because with Grinder you can only use 2-piece suit or Light Ballistic Vest, and I find this to work a lot better because we're already in the Technician skill tree. Might as well pick up Bulletproof. So those are the skills. Getting on to the weapons. Like I said, weapons are very similar to the Fugitive Mastermind build, but you don't have to use these weapons. What I love about Grinder is that you can use any weapon you want, but I find these just work best for me. So we have the GL40 grenade launcher, but this thing is a whole nother beast from what it was in the Fugitive Mastermind build, because we have incendiary rounds. I have to give a shout out to Given for coining this idea pretty much with fire and Grinder. Makes a beautiful baby and creates something magical. Because with fire, you're constantly dealing damage. Throw one of these GL40 incendiary rounds into a choke point, you're going to be gaining health constantly for, I'd say, about 30 seconds. It really is magical. So incendiary rounds make this thing a monster. You don't have to have these pirate barrels and sawed-off modifications on it. I just like it because it makes the thing look just amazing, and it just looks awesome. So you don't have to have these mods, but I like to have them. I think I had another one down here. Yeah, it's just the incendiary rounds, and oh, didn't mean to do that. Just the incendiary rounds, and it would look something like this. But I like just the little tiny look of this one, so I like to use this GL40. If you can use honestly whatever you want. You can use a piglet with incendiary rounds if that's what you're into. You can use any shotgun with incendiary rounds, work just as good. So I like personally to use the GL40 because the fire stays quite a bit longer and it has quite a bit more of a spread. And if you don't like fire, go with something like a minigun. So you're just shooting off a whole lot of damage to a whole lot of enemies, and pretty much anything you want. Anything you want as a primary that is gonna shoot off a whole lot of damage. I like this because it's pretty ammo efficient, because you pick up ammo off the ground with this thing. It turns out to be pretty good. So you can just constantly pick up incendiary rounds without hitting a medic or ammo bag, unlike something like the minigun. So secondary, we're running with the Gruber Kurz pistol. This is really my personal choice. You can run anything you want. Like I said, anything else that you want in the secondary, as long as it's pretty ammo efficient. Like I have been experimenting this with the Vector, but the Vector isn't very ammo efficient, so I wouldn't recommend it with this. And the Gruber Kurz has quite a bit of ammo. We're in that 41 threshold, so we're going to be getting one-shot headshots on overkill difficulties. So it's a really ammo efficient weapon, and it's pretty much, I think the Gruber Kurz so far is my favorite weapon in the game. I just adore that thing. So yeah, you can also run with a locomotive with incendiary rounds. I believe that would work pretty well. Melee, anything you want. Anything you want. I like to run the Switchblade. I've been running this for a couple months now, and I love it. Throwables, Molotov cocktails. This actually matters. Run the Molotov cocktails because, like I said, just with fire, throw that thing in a choke point, throw that thing in a group of enemies, maybe some shields, and you're going to be doing some serious damage while also getting a lot of health back. Light Ballistic Vest, we have 75 armor, which is, that's pretty good for a Light Ballistic Vest. 322 health, 27 concealment, 39 speed, and 50 stamina, and 21 steadiness, if that means anything to you. So yeah, I really like this with the 75 armor compared to if you were running something like this. I believe this would have just 20 dodge regularly, and I believe you'd only get maybe 20 dodge. I think 20 dodge or maybe 30 dodge is the highest you could get it, if 30, but I know you can't get it very high just with Sneaky Bastard, so definitely recommend the Light Ballistic route. So, and equipment, C4, obviously it is very convenient and very awesome. So that's the build and all the skills and the weapons. I haven't done a build video in so long, I forget what I say once I'm done telling you guys all the weapons and skills. So as always, I'll see you guys in the lobby. Alright, so here we are in a Hoxton Breakout Day 2. I did like 30 seconds of the heist. 43 seconds, actually. Before I realized I wasn't recording my audio, so I had to turn that on. And I figured Day 2 would be a good opportunity to show you guys what's good with Grindr, because this heist has a lot of opportunities to use C4, and it's a pretty fun heist as well. This might be my favorite day heist, just because there's so many objectives, and I just really like the layout. Even though I've played it probably close to like 1,000 times. I don't know if that's an accurate number. Probably, if I really had to actually guess, I would say probably over 100. I've probably done this day over 100 times. Maybe that might be too high. Maybe like 50 or something. But I know I've played it a lot more than I should. But the first thing I'm gonna do with my C4, I think I need to turn my sound down even more. It's super loud. But the first thing I need to do would be maybe open Armory, because we only have one ammo bag. But I'll see if it's an issue. If not, I'll just save it for objectives. And being tased. So I forgot even I was supposed to mention this. Like right now I was about to shoot some fire, but there weren't enough enemies around. There's a couple tasers in there, and I'm being stunned. Like I said, stun resistant. Also, you could pick that up if you wanted to. I personally would rather have bulletproof aced out, but if you guys want to be amazed by this build, just go ahead and stare at my health throughout this heist. And for some reason, I feel like I just lost the ability to play and talk at the same time. Like the last couple live commentaries I've recorded of me talking about things while playing this game really just sound like me not knowing what I'm doing, just because it's really hard for me all of a sudden. And I'm gonna throw some fire down on that bulldozer right there just to deal a little bit more damage. Someone's going down over here. Cut off that shield right there. And like, look at my armor. Like, I still have armor as well. That's why I really don't like using this with fully dodge, especially on Death Wish. I would really recommend this setup, because I'm not playing this on Death Wish because I still think that Rogue with Sneaky Bastard and Low Blow are still better for Death Wish. Just because with Grindr you'll get in this little situation where you go down and it won't be very easy to get back up and get over to a medbag of your teammates without going down again, because you don't have dodge or a lot of armor to rely on. And even when you're out of ammo, which happens on Death Wish quite a bit, you can get in some pretty sticky situations, and I would just much rather use Rogue. But this can still be used on Death Wish, just if you want more of a challenge. So yeah, there's that. And look at my health. I don't even need to do anything. It's just like free health. It's amazing. That's why Grindr's so good, especially with this light ballistic setup. As you can see, my armor recovers super fast. And oh shit, I totally forgot that this was a thing. I have a key card. We all have a key card, but whatever. I guess I'll just use my C4 just because I have it. We're totally gonna end this heist with like 2 extra key cards, but whatever. What if I used it right now? Won't even let me. So if we didn't have all these key cards, you guys could see how handy C4 could be. And like I said, C4 is the most convenient skill, yet at the same time it's the most inconvenient skill. And Grindr totally just fixed that, lets you use C4 as much as you want. And another thing I forgot to mention is that if you're doing something like a cook-off, or say a heist that doesn't really need a C4 on it, which most do need C4 if you just want to go smoother and quicker, but if you're doing a heist, say maybe like White Xmas, C4 still can come in handy on that heist as well. But if you're just doing a heist that really doesn't need C4 at all, just go ahead and bring a med bag, because you don't really need first aid kits, and your team will you'll help your team out a little bit just by bringing 2 extra med bags. So there's just a recommendation there. So what else is there? I could talk about this fire. I mean, so that's why I really did talk about this build quite a bit. That's why I wanted to do something a little bit shorter. Like, I didn't want to do like a full Hoxton Breakout, and I'm out of ammo. God damn it. I'm just going to run down there and pick up some ammo. This isn't a smart thing that I'm doing right now, because when you run out of Grindr, but there's not a lot of enemies out there. So, look, I already got 70 rounds back. So, yeah, there's not even a wave happening right now, so when you're free to go pick up ammo, or if there's a ammo bag somewhere. Totally lost my train of thought right there. I apologize. I totally, it's something about ammo. This is ridiculous. This is why I should start doing this post commentary. I should record the gameplay and then talk about, maybe write a script or something, but I don't know. I feel like you guys like the live commentaries, but I wish I was just better at it, you know. I used to be like if you go back and look at a couple build videos, like I could play and talk fine, but for some reason it's probably because I haven't done one in so long. I must have just forgot how. So Grinder, man, I probably should talk about how a little bit overpowered it is. The thing with Grinder is that it's the perfect balance, I feel, between armor, maybe not perfect, maybe a little bit too perfect, between armor and dodge, because especially when you're using it with a light ballistic vest, you do have to take cover into accountability, with unlike something like dodge, when you really you don't need cover whatsoever. You can just run around and do whatever you want. And also, you'll see me ducked a lot because I do have duck and cover, so that gives me a little bit, 10% or 15 or 10% dodge. I can't remember the exact number, but it does give you a little bit more dodge, so you're running a little bit dodge and armor. And with Grinder, like I said, with the cover, at some points, especially on Death Wish, you will run out of health, and you will need to take your armor into accountability, or not your armor, your cover into accountability a lot more. And the cavity is so good. Not a fan of the cavity, man. Not a fan. Might as well help this guy up. And I also had a different variation of this build. I might make that a separate build entirely. It had fully loaded and was really invested in shotguns and the this Enforcer skill tree. Where is this goddamn thing? Did I miss it? I had to have missed it. I feel really stupid right now. Where is this thing? What the fuck? Is it in here? Oh yeah, it was up here. It's the plant. It was hiding behind the plant. That's why I couldn't see it. I don't really need health right now. I do need ammo though. Screw it. Where's the armory? Over there. I'm gonna go open it, man. We do only have 2 key cards left, so yeah, I could just open it with C4, I think. Kill the taser. Melee him because I don't have any ammo. Yeah, picked up 9 rounds. 1-shot headshot. The Gruber Kerr is just an absolute animal. I absolutely love this thing. It really has been the only weapon I've been using for, like, I don't think that guy died. It really is the only weapon I've been using for a good, like, month or 2 now. So, it really is just a beast. And I have 4 C4s left. Oh, someone already opened it. Jesus. We are just a well-oiled machine. I have to blow the bridge. No, you have to right now. There's no other way. Alright, sure. Sure, man. I do have 4, just enough for both of them. But do I need C4 for anything else? I'm trying to think. We've already done 2 objectives. Yeah, we got 2 key cards. We're good. And I honestly don't like blowing these bridges because it just makes the heist go so slow after this. And really, there's not a whole lot of action. But whatever, it does make it a little bit smoother for people that just want to get through it, I guess. I probably should talk about fire a little bit more. This heist, it really doesn't have a lot of choke points, unlike something like Big Bank or the Diamond, where really there's just a whole lot of enemies funneling. And this doesn't feel like a Hoxton breakout right now. Like, boom, gotta take cover. Grinder isn't that overpowered, even though it is. You have to take cover into accountability. Like, if that was dodge, I wouldn't have lost a lot of health there. But when you do run out of the armor that you have with this Grinder build, you do need to take cover and just kill a couple people. There's a sniper there. Oh, one shot. There you go. Get wrecked, as they say. So, there's really not a lot of enemies. What's happening right now? Like, usually there's way more than this. I don't even think we've had a black bulldozer yet. Maybe a couple, but this is just going super fast. And that is kind of on the take of C4. C4 has been helping us a little bit. Taser down there, take him out. I'm trying to think. I talked about C4 skills. C4 is convenient, also not convenient, but this build fixes that. How good Grinder is. Oh yeah, one other thing about Grinder. If Overkill is thinking about fixing Grinder in any way, maybe this would be a good opportunity for some fire on that shield over there. Look at my health. Boom, boom. Not even doing anything, just going up. If Overkill is thinking about doing something to Grinder, I think they're gonna ruin it, because every time something is too good, I feel like game devs, not necessarily overkill, just the way of making it not as good is just making it terrible. And I really hope they don't do that, because Grinder is something new, and if they did it right, it could be something great that is just another playstyle compared to dodge and armor. Because dodge, when people first found out about dodge, it did feel like it was like everyone was like, oh my god, dodge is so good, it's really overpowered. And until this day, it still is. I still feel it's better than armor, but I know other people that think armor is better if you use it the right way. And I think Grinder's suffering from the same thing. It's new and everyone's using it, so people think it's like absolutely amazing. Even though it is pretty amazing, I feel like if we just waited a couple months, people would still go back, and all three of them would be in pretty much a daily usage for heavy players. Like people would have like their Grinder build, an armor build, a dodge build. But I do think something needs to happen. They don't need to royally neuter it and just make it absolutely shitty. They need to just slightly tweak it, and maybe slightly tweak Rogue as well while they're nerfing things, and just make everything, not one thing completely better than the other, and just make everything balanced. Obviously is what we all want. We all want something balanced, and I think it would be awesome if Armor and Rogue and Grinder were all on the same level. Make everything a little bit worse, man. Make the game a little bit more difficult. And I'm at a point right now where, honestly, unless you're playing like everything Pro Job Death Wish, the game can get a little stale, because really, with these insane perk decks like Rogue and Grinder, it's not that hard. I mean, I haven't gone down once yet this entire heist. I don't even know where this taser is right there. Thanks, buddy. I haven't gone down once this entire heist, and I've had essentially full health the entire time, as long as you're dealing out damage. And one thing to Grinder I like, if you guys have Hogside, or just check your body count after a heist, you find yourself, with using Grinder, every enemy you see, you're just like, gotta kill him, gotta kill that guy, gotta have my health back. You get a lot of kills with Grinder, like an absurd amount of kills. Like, you're just always firing. That's why I like the fully loaded build, because you are shooting off so many rounds. But the way I like to play, I'm always relatively close to the enemies that I kill, so it's really not that big of a deal. Die you. So we're already, I mean, 13 minutes and we're already pretty much done with this thing. Like, holy shit. This is a pretty quick Hoxton breakout. And like I said, I didn't want to do like a fire starter, an extremely long heist, to only have a little bit to say, because I mean, I'm already out of things to say. It's a Grinder build. Grinder's awesome. If you guys haven't gotten the Sokol character pack, get it, because Grinder is 100% worth it. And it's just amazing. Is the power out? What? What's happening right here? If I had C4, I would just throw a C4 in front of there. But whatever. So, lately, yeah, C4 has been extremely good. I've really been digging it. And this group recurs as well, man. I really should start using new things. Already out of ammo. But look at that. We have the infirmary. Or not the infirmary, the armory open. This is just too easy, man. Like I said. Especially when you have C4 and a lot of keycards. I mean, we have 2 keycards left. I told you we were going to end this heist with an extra keycard or so. I mean, might as well open infirmary, because, I mean, what the hell else are we going to use on? Well, maybe that guy might use on something, and we might get stuck having to use the drill to open that last door. I wish I could just go open it right now. And what do we got? 70, about a minute left. And sorry if I have, like, sniffles. Whenever I wake up early, like, who doesn't have the sniffles when they first wake up? My throat's just a little dry. I don't know, I did this literally as soon as I woke up. I had a schedule for today. I was like, Grinder build, make a couple more videos, Push to Talk. And yeah, guys, Push to Talk is still going on. Me, Sir Crackerbulb, and Sinister Pixels podcast is still a thing. And we're going to be recording that later today. It's going to be a really good show. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. The Gage Ninja Pack, a Grinder debate we can probably have. And also, we haven't even talked about Golden Grin yet on Push to Talk, so a lot of good stuff coming soon for Push to Talk. I'm excited. I love that podcast. Like, if you guys don't know, I have a podcast I do with a couple other Payday 2 YouTubers. Well, one of them doesn't do Payday 2 anymore, but just a couple other YouTubers in general. So, good times on YouTube. And I'm trying to think other skills that I have on this that I haven't mentioned. Other skills, really. Technician, Mastermind. You could call this kind of like a master tech force, tech mind build, I guess. I'm just gonna call it a Grinder build, because this is really the only thing I've been using with Grinder And personally, what I think works best with the Grinder perk deck, and I kind of do hope they nerf it, because this is the only thing I've been running, unless I'm playing Death Wish. I don't know if I mentioned this, but when I'm using Death Wish, I like to go with the Rogue perk deck. And this heist was extremely slow. Like, I'm talking insanely slow. There were not a lot of enemies whatsoever. That just went way too well. So that might have been the easiest Hoxton breakout of my life in a pub game. That was just a well-oiled machine. So that's the Grinder build, really. If this guy will get down here, we can finish. The Grinder build. It's absolutely insane. That entire heist, I had essentially full health. Yeah, complete a side job. Nice. So that whole heist pretty much had 100% health. Never run out of health. You run out of ammo occasionally, especially with that group of curs when you're spamming that thing, because really, to stay alive, you have to waste ammo. So that's why I think if you had fully loaded with this, it would synergize pretty well. But that's just another variation of the build you can find. Take this as a template and just work around, things that you like to work with. So yeah, template build. Grinder is amazing. Infamous item, let's hope. I don't think I've ever gotten an infamous item on camera, so maybe our luck will change today. Yeah, we got an infamous item. That was actually pretty cool. I did not expect that whatsoever. So, cool way to end the video. Alright, infamous item. Thank you guys for watching this video. That was the Grinder build. Go ahead, try it out. Let me know what you think about it. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed. Comment, knowing if, just leaving some feedback or anything like that. Constructive criticism, or if you just enjoyed the video. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.